Welcome back to my channel Zyrovex Animal, and thank you for joining. Today we are talking about Crocodile versus Anaconda, and we will see what happens when two river giants with completely different hunting styles enter the same dangerous environment. So watch till the end and subscribe for more amazing wildlife comparisons and animal stories. Deep inside hot wetlands, rivers, and flooded forests where visibility changes every second and danger can hide beneath calm water, two of nature's most feared hunters exist in completely different ways. The crocodile survives through armor, explosive power, and patience, while the anaconda survives through stealth, flexibility, and crushing strength. Both dominate water environments, but neither hunts exactly the same way. And this difference creates one of the most interesting comparisons in wildlife because attack strategies, survival methods, and physical advantages change constantly depending on location, depth, and timing. The crocodile begins its day almost invisible, only eyes and nostrils above the water while the rest of its body remains hidden below the surface. This ability makes it one of the most efficient ambush predators because prey often notices danger too late. Powerful jaws, strong tails, and thick armored skin allow the crocodile to survive confrontations that would seriously injure many other animals. Patience becomes its greatest weapon because waiting for the perfect moment saves energy and increases success. Meanwhile, deep between roots, muddy banks, and thick vegetation, the anaconda moves silently through water with almost no sound. Unlike predators that depend on speed, the anaconda depends on positioning, surprise, and body control. Its muscles are built for gripping, holding, and overpowering prey through pressure rather than bites. This creates a completely different hunting philosophy because instead of explosive attacks, it depends on control and endurance. Once the anaconda gains proper position, escaping becomes extremely difficult for many animals. Environmental conditions now become important because rivers, flooded forests, and swamps create changing advantages. Deeper water favors movement, concealment, and ambush, while narrow spaces favor positioning and control. The crocodile prefers areas where sudden explosive movement creates advantage, while the anaconda benefits from environments filled with cover, roots, plants, and low visibility. This means the battlefield itself constantly changes power balance as daylight slowly reflects across muddy water. Both predators continue moving through overlapping territory, not actively searching for conflict, but following the same survival needs: food, territory, safety, and opportunity. And when two apex predators share limited spaces, nature sometimes creates encounters that neither planned but both must understand because survival always comes first in the wild. Part 2 is the heat of the day slowly fades. The river environment becomes more active because many animals move toward water for drinking, feeding, and crossing, and this naturally increases activity for predators hidden nearby. The crocodile remains almost motionless near muddy edges where water meets land because staying invisible increases hunting success. Every small wave, every vibration, and every movement across the surface provides information because survival for ambush predators depends heavily on patience and perfect timing. Its armored body stays hidden while powerful muscles remain ready for explosive movement at any moment. Far deeper between tangled roots, floating plants, and darker sections of water, the anaconda moves slowly through narrow spaces where visibility becomes poor because concealment remains one of its greatest strengths. Unlike predators that chase targets, the anaconda prefers situations where prey enters its range without realizing danger exists. Every movement stays smooth, controlled, and quiet because surprise creates opportunities that speed alone cannot provide. This difference between the two predators becomes more interesting because both depend on patience but use patience differently. One waits to explode forward while the other waits to slowly gain control. As evening approaches, environmental conditions begin changing: temperature, water movement, and animal activity all shift together. Smaller animals gather near safer looking areas, birds become louder above the river, and fish movement increases below the surface. These environmental signals matter because predators constantly observe patterns before acting. The crocodile uses sensory awareness through water vibrations, allowing it to understand movement without clearly seeing everything, while the anaconda depends more on positioning, body awareness, and detecting movement through surrounding conditions. Both systems evolve differently, yet both remain highly effective in river ecosystems. The river itself now becomes part of the comparison. Muddy water reduces visibility, floating vegetation creates hiding places, and uneven banks produce natural ambush zones. Because of this, neither predator fully controls the environment. Instead, both adapt continuously. The crocodile gains advantage in open water edges where explosive attacks work better, while the anaconda benefits more in covered areas where flexible movement and hidden positioning become stronger tools. This changing landscape quietly shifts advantages from moment to moment. Hours continue passing and the distance between these two river giants slowly decreases, not because either seeks direct confrontation, but because territory, food sources and movement routes naturally overlap. The crocodile notices unusual disturbances near vegetation and becomes more alert because experienced predators investigate unfamiliar patterns carefully. Meanwhile, the anaconda senses changes in water movement nearby, causing slower, more defensive movement, because caution remains important even for powerful predators. Now both animals exist closer than before, separated only by water plants, shadows, and uncertainty, and sometimes uncertainty itself creates the greatest tension, because in nature knowing danger exists without seeing it completely forces every creature to become more careful. Part 2 is darkness slowly covers the wetlands. The river changes character completely because nighttime creates a world where movement becomes harder to track and hidden dangers become more effective. The surface of the water grows calmer, but beneath that calm environment tension quietly increases. The crocodile remains partially submerged, using darkness exactly the way it uses muddy water as protection, because low visibility increases the effectiveness of ambush hunting. Its eyes remain fixed on movement near riverbanks, while sensitive body systems continue detecting vibrations passing through water, allowing it to understand changes long before direct contact happens. Patience becomes even more important now because successful predators often wait longer than expected before acting. The anaconda also benefits from these conditions because darkness removes visual advantages from many animals and increases the value of stealth. Moving slowly through narrow channels and thick vegetation, it stays close to natural cover where roots, branches, and plants break visibility. Every movement remains controlled because unnecessary energy loss creates survival problems. Large constrictors survive through efficiency, not speed, and this efficiency allows the anaconda to remain hidden for long periods while staying prepared for opportunity or danger. Unlike the crocodile, which relies heavily on explosive attacks, the anaconda depends more on positioning, because correct positioning often decides success before physical contact even begins. Around them, the ecosystem becomes louder in some places and quieter in others. Frogs, insects, birds, and fish all create environmental signals that predators constantly analyze, because survival depends on understanding patterns. When sounds suddenly stop or movement changes unexpectedly, experienced hunters recognize that something unusual exists nearby. The crocodile notices repeated disturbances near heavy vegetation and changes direction, slightly becoming more focused because unknown movement always attracts attention. Meanwhile, the anaconda also senses unusual water pressure changes nearby, causing slower movement and increased caution because large predators rarely ignore environmental warnings. The biggest advantage for the crocodile remains physical protection. Powerful jaws, armored skin, explosive acceleration, and years of surviving in difficult aquatic environments. These qualities create an animal built for controlling short, violent encounters. However, one limitation exists: body shape and attack style work best when space exists for explosive movement. The anaconda carries different strengths: flexible movement, body control, underwater maneuverability, and immense constriction power, allowing control in tighter spaces where movement becomes restricted. But it also has weaknesses because long bodies require positioning mistakes to be avoided, and poor positioning creates vulnerability as midnight approaches. Both predators unknowingly enter overlapping zones within the same water system. Thick vegetation, floating plants, fallen branches, and muddy banks create a maze where visibility becomes limited. Now distance between them becomes smaller than before, not close enough for direct interaction, but close enough for awareness. Instincts become sharper, movement becomes slower, and decision-making becomes more careful because powerful predators survive by recognizing uncertainty early rather than reacting too late. And deep inside dark water, where neither fully controls the environment, the possibility of encounter slowly transforms from imagination into reality. Part 4 is early morning. Fog begins covering sections of the river. The environment becomes even more unpredictable because fog, water, vegetation, and low visibility combine to create perfect conditions for misunderstanding movement and hidden danger. The crocodile remains close to shallow water near broken branches and muddy edges because these locations provide control over movement routes. Every ripple across the surface becomes important information because ambush predators depend on understanding their surroundings before acting. Powerful jaws remain still, armored skin stays hidden beneath water, and only small movements reveal that the predator is fully alert, waiting, watching, and calculating. The anaconda continues moving through thick vegetation where roots and water plants Create natural cover because concealment remains one of its strongest. Survival tools. Large sections of its body remain hidden beneath water while slow controlled movement prevents unnecessary noise. Unlike explosive hunters, the anaconda succeeds through closeness, positioning, and patience because direct speed rarely defines success for constrictors. Every turn through vegetation, every pause near submerged roots, and every movement around narrow spaces increases survival chances by reducing exposure. Now both predators move within the same wider area and environmental pressure increases because shared resources, shared territory, and overlapping travel paths naturally reduce distance. The crocodile notices unusual movement patterns not matching fish, birds, or common prey, immediately becoming more cautious because large unfamiliar movement inside water demands attention. Meanwhile, the anaconda senses heavier water displacement than normal, causing slower movement and stronger awareness because survival depends on recognizing possible threats before direct contact occurs. This stage becomes more psychological than physical because neither predator wants unnecessary injury. The crocodile carries huge advantages through armor, jaw power, and explosive attacks, but close struggles inside restricted environments can reduce these benefits. The anaconda carries flexibility, body control, and constriction strength, but poor positioning against heavily armored opponents creates risk for long body sections. Both animals therefore depend heavily on decision-making rather than simple aggression because experienced predators understand consequences. Around them, the river itself becomes a silent factor shaping possibilities. Floating logs, narrow channels, muddy bottoms, and heavy vegetation create obstacles that affect speed, movement, and attack angles. Open water areas slightly favor explosive movement, while plant-filled spaces increase opportunities for concealment and body control, meaning advantages constantly shift depending on location. Within only a few meters, this changing environment prevents simple outcomes because no predator controls every condition. Eventually, awareness becomes almost certain. Both predators recognize through vibration, scent, and movement that another large presence exists nearby. Muscles tighten, movement slows, and caution increases because uncertainty creates respect even among apex predators. Now only water plants, fog, distance, and instinct separate them, and after hours of slowly increasing tension, the possibility of direct interaction feels closer than ever before. Part of a morning fog slowly disappears as sunlight reaches the river surface, and after hours of overlapping movement, the moment of highest tension finally arrives because both predators now fully recognize that another powerful animal exists nearby. The crocodile stays almost completely still, using patience as its first weapon because unnecessary movement reveals position, while the anaconda reduces movement as well, staying partially hidden among vegetation because concealment remains valuable even when danger becomes obvious. Now both predators understand that survival decisions matter more than speed because mistakes near another apex hunter create serious consequences. The crocodile studies water movement carefully because large unfamiliar disturbances rarely get ignored by experienced predators. Powerful jaws, armored skin, explosive acceleration, and territorial instincts create confidence, but confidence alone does not remove risk, especially against animals using different attack systems. Meanwhile, the anaconda remains cautious